Where's
Yeah, hey, Leon, run the thing, yeah?
You ready?
Yeah. Okay, I. Come. Yeah, run the thing. Rolling. It's the Artless screw swarming like Killer B. Yes. What's going on? What you don't content over everything? You don't want to do a thing, no?
No, I don't do videos.
Oh, see.
I'm standing, got to do that. So I'm gonna let you do.
Yeah, see. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. First of all, today is a serious thing. It's not like joking around, because most of the time you see me joking around. Obviously you see the rollie and that, yeah, but obviously man's on a serious thing today, you get me? I'm going to say certain things because sometimes it's jokes, sometimes it's serious, you get me? We can't be always like joking or always serious, we got to mix it up, you get me? But today, yeah, Assalamu alaikum, what are you saying? Today I wanted to say, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, knowledge is the lock and the key is the question. So always ask questions to gain knowledge. Do you understand? This is why a lot of people on here are not asking enough questions. They need to ask more questions. Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, wisdom is a person gaining knowledge and using it wisely and getting a deep understanding of the religion. Now the religion is the Deen, yeah? It's very important to read hadiths, because the hadiths that you're going to read, like there's thousands of hadiths. You should have you should do research. There shouldn't just sit at home. You have to do research. Like the Deen is more important than the dunya, so you should be putting more time researching about the Deen than trying to get money and all these things, because the Deen will help you in the next life. You understand? Now, fear Allah. Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, fear Allah as if you have seen him. If you do not see him, surely he sees you. If you think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, yes, he's saying kalam.
Deen, baby.
He's saying. You good, yeah? Good. Yes, kalam. You want to say something?
No. It's all
sure,
you.
yeah?
It's all you.
Yeah.
What's good
If you think that Allah does not see you, then you are an unbeliever. So anyone who thinks that Allah does not see him, this person is an unbeliever. He's a disbeliever, he's a kafir. So whoever knows Allah fears him, and whoever fears Allah abstains from this dunya, like the haram things. The believer is not a believer, is not a true believer, unless he is afraid and hopeful at the same time. He has amal and khawf. And he is not afraid and hopeful unless he puts into practice what he is hopeful and afraid of. Okay, now what it is here, every believer, if you open his heart, he's khawf and raja. He's between khawf and raja. What does khawf and raja? Means fear of Allah and hope from Allah. He's in the middle. Do you understand? Because the Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said the strongest thing Allah imposes on his creation is that they should remember Allah all the time. You understand? Now, remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala all the time means that you should be obedient to him and not disobey him, like not do haram things. Do you understand? Like remember that he's watching you. Do you understand? This is one of the ways you should remember all the time. So when you're about to do something haram, remember Allah. If it's disobedience, do not do it, for example. Remember, anyone who says La ilaha illallah, a tree is given to him in Jannah. So if you say La ilaha illallah, like Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, if anyone pronounces La ilaha illallah with his tongue, he gets a tree in heaven. So someone came to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, we must have millions of trees. But he said, do not burn them by your bad deeds. So if you do one bad deed, you might burn half of your trees or all of your trees. So if you're doing good deeds, like you have to try and not like say la ilaha illallah, la ilaha, you're getting all these trees, but do not burn them by like I said, yeah. Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said that his grandfather, the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, the person does not find the sweetness of belief till he is indifferent to him who controls pleasures in the world. It is forbidden for your hearts to know the sweetness of belief till they refrain from the worldly pleasure. So you will not taste that sweetness of iman, of belief, unless you stay away from the haram things. You understand? You have to stay away from the haram things to get that true sweetness. You understand? To get that true, to feel that the belief, because you know belief, you can feel the sweetness of it. You understand? Some people can feel it, some people can't.
Hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
You know, like, you got better wives, and you're saying that you want to have better wives. And I was wondering, do you know January transfer window is coming up?
Who?
January transfer window is coming up.
What's that?
Basically, I'm just saying, you're trading your wife for another wife.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that. Sorry, brother. If Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq said, if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to do good for a servant, for his slave, he makes him refrain from the life in this world, makes him understand the religion, and makes him see its defects of this world. And whoever is granted these things is granted the best of this world and the next world. Now, refraining from the life of this world is the best method to seek the truth. You understand? And it is against the thing which is sought by the enemies of the truth. Who wishes for it, the worldly life, is there. This worldly life is like, it's a deception, isn't it? It's a deception, and it's just only a few days and we're gonna die. So if you're just going mad over this life, it's not. This is from shaitan. You understand? It's only a few days. We're gonna go to the next life. We're gonna be. You understand? We're gonna be in a place for billions of years. So it's only a few years now. Whoever adopts religious devotion in this world, Allah will fix wisdom in his heart and will make his tongue utter it. Yes, Gabs, what are you saying, my G? Long time, where you been, brother? Where you been? You ain't seen you for a while, bro.
Busy, bro.
Gabs, this is our guy Gabs, man. He ain't been around for a while, man. Big up Gabs, man. Long time, bro. Long time, G.
Trust me.
Yeah, so,
I didn't even hear it. Just tune in now.
so basically, the life of this world, yeah, is like the seawater. You know, when you drink seawater, it's salty, so you're gonna become more thirsty. So the more you're gonna drink from the seawater, the more you're gonna want to drink more and more, because it's not gonna fill you. You understand? You're gonna try and drink more and more and more. It's like, that's like this the world. The more you get, the more you're gonna want. You're gonna want more, more, more. You're never gonna be. You understand? These people chasing this world. You see him after he get a Bentley, he want the best Ferrari, he want the best house, he want the best this. He ain't gonna stop. It's like drinking seawater. Do you understand? So you have to, obviously, this world you have to know is a test, innit? It's like, we're only here, like, we have to know, you get me, that this is not, we're gonna go live forever in the next life. So what we do now should be for the next life, not for this life. But this world is worth nothing, like, it's nothing. Like, this world is like, it will kill you, innit? There's bare people that died, they're chasing this world, they're either dead, they're in prison.
Why do you think it's worthless?
Huh?
Why do you think it's worthless?
Worthless? No, because it's worthless compared to the next life. But the next life you're gonna be in heaven. You're gonna be chilling in heaven. You're gonna have it's this, because this world compared to the next life is for billions of years. So this life, how many years is 60 years? The next life is a billion, trillion, infinite. So this world is nothing compared to the next life. The women here are nothing compared to the next life. The pleasures here are nothing compared to the next life. So obviously, compared to if you're gonna see the chicks in the next life in heaven, they're the buffest chicks. They're the pengest chicks. So these chicks here are nothing compared to the chicks in heaven. Obviously, the buff chicks here, I go mad for the chicks here, the pengest chicks here. But compared to the ones in heaven, they're nothing, black, because they're so buff. That's what I'm trying to say. So obviously, if we're doing good here, we're gonna get the buff things in the next life. But if we're doing bad here, we're just gonna be with Satan, innit? So that's why man's trying to do good against evil. You get me? So, like, I'm trying to. That's why man's working hard, praying, like asking for forgiveness. You get me? Just to God, because I know when I die, I want to have a ting with me. I want to be a buff ting. You get me? I don't want to die and have snakes and scorpions biting me. You get me? So this is my opportunity now to do as much good deeds as I can. You get me? Like, to try and get the next life. Try and get eternity, fam. It's never ending, fam. So no matter what you do, you gotta do as much as you can, as much good deeds and belief. That's it. You get me? Belief and do good deeds. And like I said, yeah, like it's like a snake, innit? You know the snake, yeah? This world is like a snake, innit? The snake is soft to touch, yeah? But it's poisonous, isn't it? So this world, you might see it, it's soft to touch, but it's poisonous. Like if you try and love this world, it will kill you. You get me? The life of this world is attractive from the outside. What does Imam Ali said? The life of this world is attractive from the outside, but destructive from the inside. The outside it looks attractive. You understand? So, what does Imam Ali also say? I have regarded the rank of the life in this world as the rank of the dead animal. Yes, Manji, big up. As the rank of the dead animal. When I am forced to eat of it. Indeed, Allah the Blessed and Exalted knows when the servants do and what they will return to. Whoever enters upon the morning and evening and life in this world in his greatest intentions, starting the day with the intention not to sin, you understand? Allah will basically, whoever enters upon the morning and evening in this world, basically trying to sin, not to sin. So if someone like wakes up in the morning just thinking about this world and thinking about sinning and all that, what will Allah do to this person? He will put poverty between his two eyes and scatter his affairs, and he will not get anything of this life except that which has been written for him. And whoever enters in the morning and evening and the hereafter, the next life, is his greatest worry, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like basically his greatest worry is to do good deeds. Like he's so like anxious on doing good deeds. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will put richness in his heart and make all his life good. You understand? Whoever's heart attaches to this life, the life of this world, three things will not leave him. One of them is worry. He will always be worried.
What channel you on?
COE.
Is it COE?
Yeah. You want to say something?
Content over everything.
Is that you who says that? Oh, you're sick. Yeah? So if you love this world, if your heart is attached to this world, you will have endless worry. And you will have an unattainable hope. And you will have an inaccessible wish. So those that love this world and attach themselves to it will always have these three problems. Imam Ali says, what is the life in this world and what could it be? Is the life in this world nothing out but a meal you have eaten it, or a garment you have worn it, or an animal you have ridden? The believer has no confidence in the life of this world and does not feel safe from the coming of the hereafter. The life of this world is transient and the life of the hereafter is permanent. The people who cling on to this world are heedless. The regard of this world, to love this world, and this world, this temporary house that we live in, is not a smart thing to do because it's temporary. It's like if I put you in temporary accommodation and then I'm saying you're going to move to permanent accommodation. Are you going to try and build on this temporary accommodation, or are you going to try and build your permanent accommodation, which is the next life? Imam Ali says, by Allah, the obedience who do not commit even the little harm, little sins, have succeeded. There's people in this world, they don't even do the smallest sins. I'm a sinner, but there's other people. Everyone is. Yeah, everyone's a sinner, but there is some people that won't even do the smallest sin. That's how pious they are. Do you understand? They have succeeded. You understand? Fear of Allah is enough knowledge for them in regards to taqwa. Okay? Imam Ali says, be careful, do not do injustice to who finds no helper against you except Allah. Do you understand? All of you people out there, all of these countries out there that are doing injustice to people, Allah will deal with them in this life and the next life. Even if for example, the international community does not deal with them, people don't get their revenge in this life, they get their revenge in the next life. And every oppressor got hotted up in this life, do you understand? No one got out alive, karma got them. There's another hadith, this goes for all the people that are backing the Saudi oppressors. The Muslims who are backing these oppressors, this goes for them. And whoever excuses an unjust person for his injustice, Allah empowers a person over him to do injustice to him. If he asks Allah, Allah does not answer him. and does not reward him because of his injustice. So imagine someone, this goes for the people that are saying, yeah, Saudi is okay for them to kill innocent people, for example. One day, karma will come back to them, just for them agreeing with what oppressors are doing. You understand? I'm just giving you a quick example. So it will come back to them, just for them in their heart agreeing or not doing nothing to stop oppression, it will come back to them. Do you understand? And he says, whoever enters upon the morning and does not intend to do injustice to anyone, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive his sins. You understand? On that day. Indeed, whoever is successful through injustice does not get any good. So you might see someone, he's doing injustice to people and he thinks he's being successful. No, really and truly, he's not being successful. He thinks that, or he's getting views, or he's getting money, or he thinks that he's winning. Really and truly, he's getting destroyed. You understand? All these people that are doing injustice. It says, beware of injustice, because the person who makes dua and prays against the unjust person, his dua goes to the sky. It passes the sky. Like his prayers are answered. So if you oppress someone and he prays against you and he prays to God, he says, God, this person oppressed me. The person that's praying against the oppressor, his prayer will be answered. You understand? Also, Imam Ali said, the believer. He talks about the believer. He says, verily, knowledge is the friend of the believer. Patience and kindness is his father. The believer should have 8 qualities. He should be patient during misfortune, patient during tribulation, grateful during welfare, satisfied with Allah, with what Allah has given him. He should not do injustice to his enemies, even his own enemies. He shouldn't do injustice to them. His body because of him is tired, because he's always praying and doing fasting, doing good deeds, and people because of him are relaxed. You understand? Also, Imam Ali says, postponing repentance is self-conceit. Lengthening, basically, if you try and don't repent now, you say, oh, when I'm older, that's a big risk, bro, because what if you died right now? Do you understand? And no one feels safe of Allah's anger except for the people who shall perish. There are people who think that they can do injustice, they can sin, and Allah won't do nothing. These people think, oh, it's calm. These people will perish. Whoever fears Allah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saves him from adversities. Whoever thanks Allah, Allah increases for him. And whoever grants him alone, Allah will reward him. So whoever gives charity, basically it's like saying you're giving a loan to Allah. You're not giving a loan to Allah, but you're giving charity. Allah will reward you. He will give you money. He will give you a good life. He will push away bad things. Oh, you want to jump on this? Yeah? All right. Indeed, last thing. Indeed, the hypocrite is displeased with what the believer is happy with. Remember. And the religious person takes wisdom from anyone. He doesn't have to be, it can take wisdom from even your own enemies. The believer has strength in religion, determination with leniency, faith with knowledge, activity with guidance, obedience with righteousness, knowledge with clemency, courteous with fellowship, generosity with righteousness, moderation with riches, gracefulness in starvation, forgiveness with ability, obedience of Allah in order to give up the appetite, piety in the desire, eagerness in worship and devotion, endurance in hardship. He is dignified during calamities, patience in distress, thankful during ease. He does not backbite people, nor does he become proud, nor does he abandon his blood relation. He is not feeble, no, he is not rude, he is not rough. His sight does not precede him. There's so many things. He does not envy people, nor taunt people. He does not steal. He supports the victims of injustice. He has mercy on the poor. His own self is in distress because of him, while people are eased from him. He does not wish to go for the glory, for this world, nor does he want to become impatient because of its humiliation. You understand? No, like the believer has got so many. He guides people. He helps people, and he basically. The believer is not a true believer. Imam Ali says, a believer is not a believer until he has a perfect mind, an intellect. You can't be some mental guy and try and be a believer. He has to have an intellect, a very decent, smart guy. Do you understand? And he's not perfect in his mind until he has 10 traits, 10 characteristics. Good. Do you want to jump on this thing? I'm gonna come back to you lot at another time. Good alone is expected from him. Evil from him is not to be feared. He stays away from evil. He regards much of his good as little, regards little good of others as much. There's so many things. Anyway, you want to jump on this thing? Yeah, come. There's so much things to say, but there's so many characteristics of a believer. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I'm gone. Yeah, I just wanted to say, big up. Yeah, and God bless. Innit?
Come take over everything from your family. Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
Give you a minute. Give you a minute. Now give us a minute. Okay. Give us a minute. So basically, you mentioned John 1:1.
Yep.
You mentioned about John 17:3, where it says about the Father being the only true God. And then you mentioned about the Holy Spirit. If you blaspheme against Him, that means you blaspheme God. Am I right?
Correct.
So you identified 3 different locations. You know.
Three different.
Do you remember?
Not locations.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well, locations in 3 different places in the Bible.
Yeah.
Do you remember what was my question?
Yeah, and I answered.
What was my question?
You asked me the question about the one true God.